Oh, come on, Wargaming. What the hell is it doing at tier 8? It could easily be at tier 9. Just change the arbitrary stats like health or DPM, but you're telling me that you want to suffer in tier 10 matches playing the Super Pershing without actually playing the Super Pershing. That's what this vehicle is. So you have a better penetration of a gun and better alpha at the cost of DPM, accuracy, and aim time. Alright folks, let's take a look at the M47 Improved, the Super Patton, along with the Super Pershing at tier 8. So you get additional armor plating for the turret front, the turret sides, the hull sides, the hull front, and even the engine deck. What the hell? Just noticed this, but additional armor plating covering the exhaust ports. The exhaust. That's fun. The rocket launcher from Commando with Arnold. And you shoot like 40mm rockets, but that's just cosmetic. Unfortunate. So it's like the Super Pershing, but slightly better turret front at the cost of a Commander cupola, which is a little bit bigger. And the lower plate is not as well protected as the Super Pershing, so we'll take a closer look. But yes, you have a bigger gun. The gun has better penetration and better alpha. It doesn't have the DPM, so let's take a look. But they removed the radio operator, so no bow machine gun port, and put an ammo rack there. And it's a premium tank, makes more credit and crit XP, yada yada. 105mm. Baseline accuracy and DPM suck. Aim time suck. Penetration is not half bad, especially for the gold shell. 300mm for high explosive anti-tank. It's alright. It's like a mini T34 of a gun. It's only 105, but it's still more of a punch than a 90, I guess. And crew of 4 fits all the American medium tanks at higher tiers, like the M48 or M60. It is a premium still, but we already have like 8 premium American medium tanks at tier 8. This one suck, this one suck, outdated practically. This is outdated penetration. This is practically a light tank. These two are likely the same, mostly. And this is the best autoloader at tier 8 for the Americans. T69 needs a buff. Giggity. So let's see. Super Patton. Well, let's take a look at the firepower. So 105 AP round is 230mm of pen, not half bad. 320 alpha, also not half bad, but takes a while to reload. So about 10 seconds of reload with a rammer and vents and stuff. So DPM is not that great. It gets up to about 2000 DPM with a rammer, so still kind of bad, but it's a premium, so fine, I guess. 0.42 accuracy. That's Russian-esque. So, I mean, you get better accuracy out of a IS-3's 122. Okay, I guess. It sucks. 2.9 seconds of aim time also suck. 10 degrees of gun depression, 20 elevation. Turret traverse, that of a heavy medium tank, so it's alright. But let's take a look at the actual soft stats. Moving dispersion is actually pretty good, 0.12 and 0.08 for turret dispersion traverse. Pretty good. Shell velocity is quick, that's nice. High explosive anti-tank is also decently fast. Yeah, it's pretty fast. 300mm of pen that doesn't lose penetration at distance, so pretty good. And high explosive is 420, blaze it, but shell velocity is also not half bad for high explosive. So overall, the gun is alright, other than the actual baseline accuracy and DPM. If this thing has like 2100 DPM and like 0.37 accuracy, that would be a good gun, but you have 54 rounds, and I don't know. I mean, compare the gun to the Super Pershing. Let's see, what a Super Pershing. There it is. And yeah, accuracy is not as good. Aim time is definitely not as good. You have better pen, Better alpha, less DPM by 100, but better moving dispersion, which is good. Faster shell velocity. Well, you pay a lot more. You pay 4 times as much to do only 80 more damage. So you pay 4 times as much to do only a third more damage. That doesn't seem fair, but okay. Also, the top speed is the same. Horsepower per turn ratio is better, but it's slightly a little bit more mobile at the cost of health and camo. It weighs less too. What the hell? You have better track health, better engine health. Ammo rack is the same. View range is the same. Gun traverse is the same. Turret traverse is also the same. Gun depression, elevation, yada yada. So basically, a better gun at the cost of matchmaking. You'll face tier 10. Well, better gun in terms of pen and damage alpha, but not in terms of accuracy. And less reverse speed as well. No. Why? Why is this thing at tier 8? Just buff everything and it could be at tier 9. Well, the gun is okay. It's like a mini T-34's gun. Low DPM. Also, the accuracy is not as good as the T-34, that too, but it's workable, but it's not great. Well, let's take a look at the armor. That's the most important thing, I guess. So, and it's more strong compared to the Super Pershing at the turret cheeks. So there's no weak spot right here or right here, and it's all space armor. So better against high explosive anti-tank shells or high explosive rounds. So the front is 300, 350, 600. Holy crap! Yeah, you're not getting through this turret front, but you're going to get through the commander cupola, which is pretty huge in the back. Yeah, on the Super Pershing, it's not as prominent. I mean, it's like half the size, but still, it's only 130. Upper plate is 270-ish to 260-ish, which is hull down, perfect. You could get shock trap, but that is pretty rare. Shock trap into the driver hatch, or this hatch right here for the ammo rack, a little bit. They removed the radio operator, so it's a ammo rack right here. Lower plate, it's only 120 to 240. Wow, 240 for this is not half bad, but this is pretty weak. So, yeah, you don't have the cheek weak spot, but you have a bigger commander cupola and no more covering of the drive wheels in this part of the area of the lower plate. So we can go back to the Super Pershing and you can take a look. So yes, you don't have the bow machine gun port, but you have this weak spot right here and right here. So taking a look at the armor, commander cupola is also bigger at 230-ish or 130-ish compared to 170-ish. So you don't have this weak spot right here, this weak spot right here, but you have a stronger mantlet front. Also, no bow machine gun port weak spot, so hull down is a lot more reliable. But this thing has preferential matchmaking. It has more health too. Yeah, you can shoot right here and pin, shoot right here and pin. Between the gun, so behind the gun right here, you can also pin if you're lucky. But if this thing has like at least 2100 DPM, I would say it's not half bad. But no! Side armor, let's take a look at side skirts and side scraping. It's only 30, so space armor of 30, covering up the 3 inches of hull sides. And 50 at the rear end. What the hell? It's like nothing right here. It's all tracks and space armor. There's nothing right here. What the hell? It's like blank. Interesting. Oh, yeah, this is all drive wheel. You get the tracking right here, but there's nothing right there. Interesting. So shooting here, there's nothing. Oh, smaller profile of side scraping. So if you do side scrape like this, somebody will hit you right here, and that does no damage. Okay. Yeah, don't rely on the lower plate. Lower plate is not gonna save you. I mean, you could throw a few shots if they're auto aimed onto your center mass and hit right here of the space armor, but you do have weak spots. And the biggest weak spot is the commander cupola. If that's not a weak spot, then this thing is pretty decent. Even though it has a garbage gun, but I mean, I don't know how reliable is it compared to the Super Pershing, but I mean, some areas are good, some areas are kind of debatable, like the lower plate and the commander cupola, but just buff it to tier 9, give it more health, give it a lot more health. Well, we already talked about the mobility of this thing compared to the Super Pershing, so it's about the same top speed and slightly slower reverse speed, same traverse, but you have a powerful engine, so a little bit better in terms of horsepower per ton ratio and better terrain resistance, but not that much, so not as bogged down as the Super Pershing, but you weigh less, so don't go ramming. You do have more health for the modules like your track or your fuel tank, but effective top speed is better than the Super Pershing in swamps, so that's nice, but it's still 40, so kinda slow. It's a large medium tank, like a jumbo practically. Concealment is not as good as Super Pershing, and it's practically a fat medium tank camo, and view range is the same, 390, so it doesn't have preferential matchmaking. That's the only downside of this vehicle. You're comparing a old relic of a Super Pershing that got nerfed, buffed, and nerfed again like a bunch of times, and that's like the only one, or maybe the first one, premium tank, that Wargaming actually gave a refund for because of how much change went into the Super Pershing. This vehicle is comparing to a relic, so I don't know how I feel about this. So let's go through the equipments and field modifications before we actually do some ratings. Give it more speed. You can have vents to help out with the accuracy or the DPM, but I feel like turbocharger might be better. And you could put vents as the survivability slot, and obviously the rammer. So with that, you get about 0.41 accuracy and about 2000 DPM, which is alright. I mean, with Brothers in Arms, it's a little bit better, but not much. You could put optics, but it's a close range fighter. It's a large medium tank. It's an assault medium tank, so I wouldn't really stick to optics unless you really need it. I think vents will help out with the gun aspect a lot better. Like a lot better. You could put optics, and let's see how much that would change, but yeah, I think I will want vents rather than optics for this second slot. Yeah, vents is a little bit better. Shaves it off about 0.1 seconds of aim time, a little bit, and 0.01 accuracy. So, field modifications. It is a assault gun of a medium tank, so technically you could have this one for better durability of your module, so damage to your gun or ammo rack doesn't have that big of a penalty. But you probably want to fix a damaged ammo. You probably want to fix a damaged ammo rack ASAP, right? So you could have better traverse, but this is one of the few rare chances that you get to use this one rather than the mobility. Light alloy mounting points, the one with the better traverse. I mean, with better traverse, you're more in line as an actual medium tank, but the penalty from the ammo rack or the damaged gun is dramatic. Is it ammo rack, engine, and wow, it is a bunch. It's the engine and ammo rack. Holy crap. But then again, this thing has better health for the engine compared to the Super Pershing, so you're not as likely damaged in terms of the engine unless you get shot in the back. It's a toss-up, but I feel like better. Let's go with better traverse. Without it, you get like 30 degrees per second of traverse. Yeah, let's go with better traverse. Second one is better aim circle size or dispersion. It already has pretty good dispersion while moving, so you could get better accuracy, which is kind of important for 0.4 accuracy. So you might want to get better accuracy for this one. And reverse speed or optics or camo, not optics, coating, it's camo. Reverse speed. You're brawling most of the time, and you're already spotted, so camouflage is not as important as better reverse speed, getting out of the harm's way and jiggling the turret about. So, and finally for the second equipment enhancement, go with survivability, and that will help out with the accuracy and everything else. But even with the rammer, even with vents, the DPM is still 2000. So how much would I rate this vehicle? I mean, I like my Super Pershing, but that's because I don't face tier 10s. You will face tier 10s, so you have to rely on the shell. If you're not going to pen, you're going to have to spam gold. And spamming gold shell in a premium tank is counterproductive, right? You want to make the credits, not spam all the gold shell in the world, but you could. The downside is you don't have the DPM or the accuracy to scare off tier 10s or tier 9s. You do have the armor, but like I said, gigantic tumor on top. If this tumor was removed, this vehicle would be like a 6.5, 7 even. But there is a tumor, there is bottom plate weak spots, and it's not as fast in terms of top speed, but it's faster to rev up and better in swamps than Super Pershing. So I still feel like a health buff for this vehicle to like 1500 at least, or maybe 1600. It's kind of required for a assault medium tank. Also, buffing the DPM wouldn't hurt, and buffing the alpha wouldn't hurt to like 360. But I will give this vehicle a, I say 5 out of 10, maybe 5.5. It's alright. It's like the T34 in a sense. It's acquired taste. I mean, T34 is by all means not the best premium tier 8 American heavy, but it gets the job done because of the gun. Where the hell is the T34? There it is. I mean, it's not the best heavy tank. The hull armor is not the best. The gun is not the most accurate. Or it is the most accurate, but not the most DPM-y of the guns, as well as the aim time. But it gets the job done, provided you aim long enough. It has the penetration there. So I like my T34s, not T39, and the black version as well. But for this vehicle, it's 5.5 out of 10. There we go. How much would I rated it originally? I wonder. Did I even rated it? It wasn't even added, I think. To hold up. I need to check. I have the tab open to see the original rating for the vehicle. Let's see. M47. Actually, I did. Oh, I don't remember. 6.5 depending on armor. Really? 6.5. Well, really? I mean, there are weak spots in the armor, but as we already predicted, the turret front is pretty thick. Other than the commander cupola, 6.5. Really? With that baseline DPM, I say 5.5 now. I'm getting a little bit scared. But then again, I was hyped about the actual, look of the vehicle. It could be at tier 9. So 5.5, I think. Maybe a 6 if I'm generous. But 5.5. It's pretty good against tier 6. No question about it. It's pretty good against tier 7s most of the time, unless you get shot in the cupola. But this will deflect most of the shells unless you don't wiggle the turret and they hit the commander cupola, so wiggle the turret back and forth. But yeah, I'll give it a 6, but still, doesn't have the DPM, doesn't have the accuracy. I'll give it a 6. But there you go, folks, the Super Patton, the M47 Super Patton, and hopefully this will be like tier 9, treated like the 𝘚𝘵𝘥-2, which was originally a tier 9. It got moved to tier 8. It got moved back again to tier 9, so we could see it as tier 9. Where the hell is the K91-2? There it is. I mean, it was a premium tier 8, and then it moved back to premium tier 9, so you could see it as a premium tier 9. Just change the arbitrary DPM, health, and other stuff, but yeah, we don't need premium tier 8, so we already got enough. So there you go, folks. Thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Todos los paisajes que un día vi, con lindos listones los decoraré. Los voy a llevar conmigo a casa y te los entregaré como un gran souvenir. A las estaciones pude observar y una que otra lágrima derramar. Voy en camino a casa por la vía que has de revelar y no sé dónde.